All right, guys, if you're a fan of the Shelby Track Pack styling and you want the convenience of a pre-painted part, well, then you should definitely check out MP Concepts GT350 style spoiler, shown here in black today for your 2015 and newer S550 Mustang. Now, the spoiler is going to be constructed from durable ABS plastic and, as you can see, finished off in OE quality gloss black paint for right around the mid to high $100 price point. Install is going to go down one of two different ways. If you have a factory spoiler installed, you're looking at a pretty straightforward job that requires no drilling. On the other hand, if you do not have any spoiler currently installed on your car, well then yes, there will be some drilling involved. So because of that, site's just going to call this one a middle of the road 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter and maybe a couple of hours to knock out from start to finish. So the spoiler category is a rather large one here at AM and will feature mild stuff like a factory blade type spoiler all the way down the line to the carbon fiber GT350R stuff and really everything in between. Now, the option that's on my table here again today is another factory inspired part and one that I think will live somewhere in the middle of the pack in regards to overall size and styling impact. And then again, that is the GT350 Track Pack style spoiler that's here today in black. Now, when Ford first released the GT350, there was 2 non-R versions of the car, basically the Tech Pack and the Track Pack. Now, that Tech Pack car had a very basic and unassuming blade style spoiler, which was very, very subtle, almost too subtle for the mighty Shelby. Now, the Track Pack spoiler, on the other hand, well, that thing really did fit the car perfectly and offered a good amount of aggressiveness for a spoiler without being nearly as radical as the GT350R. Well, let's focus in a little bit more on the Track Pack style spoiler here on the table. And again, on the surface, you have that durable and lightweight ABS plastic build with a lot of the same detail of that factory Shelby option. Now, you can see it is finished in a gloss black paint job, which you can use to either match a black car or maybe just offer a nice color contrast to any other color S550. Now, I do want to point out here quickly, guys, that we do also offer a bunch of different spoiler options that have been pre-painted to match your ride. So if you wanted something that will match your color directly, you might want to check out some of those other options instead. However, just keep in mind those color match spoilers do typically jump up in price slightly. But let's get into the installation here. And again, this is going to go down one of two different ways, guys. If you have that factory spoiler installed or an aftermarket spoiler, there will not be any drilling necessary. Now, on the other hand, if you do not have a factory option installed, well, then you will need to break out that drill. Now, regardless, to give you a better idea of just what is going to be involved for your ride at home, feel free to check out our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
The tools you'll need for this project are a ratchet, a 10mm socket, a magnetic Phillips head screwdriver, a trim removal tool, and possibly some rubbing alcohol and a clean cloth, or you can use the supplied alcohol pads in the kit. Hi everyone, today we're installing a spoiler on our Mustang, so let's get started with the uninstall first. For our uninstall, we're going to need a trim removal tool to remove 9 push pins in this cover here. We'll also need to remove these 2 rubber bumpers here, the trim piece over the hood, the latch there, and 2 rubber grommets on the outside of the deck lid. So we're going to insert our trim tool underneath the bottom of the latch here and just pop it out. Then remove the 2 rubber bumpers just by screwing them out. Now we can remove our push pins simply by inserting our trim removal tool underneath the pin and pulling out. And just slip the handle through the slot. Now we can just pop the grommets out simply by pulling them in. Now we've got 4 nuts to remove, 2 here and 1 on each end where the grommets used to be. So we're going to go ahead and use our 10mm socket to remove those. And just one note of caution, when you get to the point where you're just about ready to remove the nut, it's a good idea to close the deck lid as much as you can to keep the nut from falling into the trunk lid. Now with all of our nuts removed, we can go ahead and lift our rear spoiler off. Now you may need a trim removal tool to help pry it off, depending on what type of adhesive is on the bottom of the spoiler. Now installing this spoiler is going on the assumption that you already have a factory spoiler installed on your vehicle. If you don't, there are some extra steps that need to be taken care of, or if you have a convertible, even with a spoiler. And those steps require you using these templates to place them over the holes on the spoiler itself, test fitting the spoiler on the car, taping the templates down to the deck lid, and then gently removing the spoiler from the templates to show you exactly where everything needs to be marked. We're just going to go on the assumption that you've already got a spoiler installed and go through the process there. First thing you're going to want to do is get some rubbing alcohol and a clean microfiber cloth and clean the surface area where the double-sided tape is going to be installed. That'll remove any residue that you may have on there from cleaning products or wax or manufacturing issues. Now, once that's dried, you can use the supplied adhesion promoter to place it along the edge of the lip here and just above the line where the mounting holes go. Use a small brush to spread it out, make it even, and then apply the double-sided tape as well. Now, one thing I recommend, when you use the double-sided tape, after you get it applied all the way around the area, then we'll remove just one end of the backing material. That way it'll make it easier to pull off once we've actually got it in place. So we're just going to peel back the backing about an inch or so, just so you have something to grab onto after you get it installed. One last thing before we actually get this installed is these rubber pads. There are 4 of them, one for each mounting hole. Peel off the brown side, place it over the hole, and then when you're ready to mount it on the vehicle, remove the red backing. Now we can go ahead and place our spoiler on the deck lid and secure it using the supplied hardware and a Phillips head screwdriver. Now once we've got everything tightened down on the spoiler, we can go ahead and reinstall our deck lid cover using the original hardware. Now we'll reinstall our 2 rubber bumpers. Our 2 grommets on the ends. And finally, our latch cover. And that wraps up our review and install of the MP Concepts GT350 Track Pack style rear spoiler in gloss black for 15 and newer Mustangs. Thanks for watching, and remember, for all things Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.